Okay, should be all working properly and in order. So yeah, as you can really tell by the title of the video, it's a back and rear delt session. And that begs the question you're probably asking, where's the chest and side delt session? If you're familiar with the usual order of my sessions, that is, because the last one I uploaded was an arm session. And to answer that question, I did train chest and side delts yesterday, I just didn't record it. So it is currently Saturday night, nearly 7:30, and I'm just going to mix up my EAAs and have this energy drink too. It's called G Beats. I haven't had this flavour yet. I had the purple one. The purple one's really nice. It's kind of like a grape energy drink of some sort, but they taste really, really nice. It's got some natural caffeine in there, a lot of B vitamins, like no sugar, and it's got some vitamin A as well. So yeah, it's pretty decent. But yeah, I'm not sure if this is like green apple or lime. I'll find out if it's more of an apple or a citrus flavour. But yeah, I'll down that and yeah, prepare these for the session. It's been one of those days basically where I've just felt tired all day, guys. Partly due to the slightly later night that I had last night and not getting as much sleep, waking up at the same time as I usually do. But also just, it's just one of those days, an off day, where I've just wanted to nap all day. I have had a nap actually. The nap made me feel more tired, and I just felt depressed all day. It's just weird for no reason. One of those days where you kind of lethargic, you don't like the way you feel, or even don't really like the way you look, to be honest. It's just one of those weird days where everything just feels off. And I really didn't want to come to the gym, to be honest. I'll be completely fair with you guys, but my goals are bigger than my feelings, and sometimes you just have to grit your teeth and basically turn up and do the work, even if you don't feel like doing it. Like, a lot of the time, if you're passionate about what you do, you are going to want to go to the gym, and I usually do want to go to the gym, but today just happens to be one of those days where I just don't feel like it. But I need to understand and remind myself that what separates the winners from the losers is that the winners are relentless in their execution and in their pursuit. They don't give up, and on these particular days, these are the particular days that separate the winners from the losers a lot of the time. Like turning up, doing the work, even when you do not want to do the work. So how champions are made. That, and genetics, of course, but genetics aside, it's just relentless, like unwavering work ethic and self-discipline to kind of drag your ass and haul your ass to the gym when you don't feel like doing it. But now that these are mixed up, and now that I kind of filled you in on my day, I'll try this energy drink and I'll give you a bit of a review. Oh, thank God, it is green apple. I was worried because I don't like citrus. Oh, it says apple booster on it. You're an idiot, Nick. It says apple booster literally right on the can. I don't know how I missed that, but yeah, there you go. Not only am I tired, but I'm also an absolute fucking moron today. But I'm gonna drink this and yeah, get the session done. Like I said, today is just one of those days where I just don't feel like doing the work that's necessary. Like I honestly just feel depressed, for lack of a better term, but you're not always going to feel good, and that's just the harsh truth of life. And sometimes there's just no reason for it, and on those days you need to remind yourself that even though you might feel that way, if you have no reason, just reframe everything. Like, look at it from the perspective of, well, if I don't have anything to be upset about, quit being upset. And it's important to process your feelings and emotions, but don't let them dictate the decisions that you make, because if you do that, ultimately you'll succumb to failure in the long run, in my opinion. Yeah, time to get in there and get the session done. So the first exercise on the menu is just a parallel grip pull down. So using the kind of like the wider parallel attachment, it's about shoulder width. There's two that are like very similar in this gym. One that is shoulder width for me and the other one that's a little bit wider. And I think this is the one that's a little bit wider. So it's the one that I don't normally use. So it might feel a little bit different. And therefore, even though it's not a big difference, any subtle difference in like the width of your grip will play a bit of a role in determining whether you can move the same amount of weight as with a slightly narrower grip or move less weight. So the reps that I get like might be a little bit less or a little bit more than what I did last week, but last week I got 15 to 16 reps on each set with a 180 pound. So I'll do 180 pound again this week, the same weight, but because it is a slightly wider grip or handle or attachment, whatever you want to call it, I might fall a few reps short, or I might overshoot what I got last week by a few reps. Could go either way, I'm not too sure. But I've got 3 sets of it. I'll do a warm-up set first, and then I'll jump into the working set. And the warm-up set's more of like a feeler set. I don't get a failure or anything like that, or anywhere near close to that kind of vicinity. Another than 2, unlike the one arm pull down that I was doing the other day on my first back rear delt session of the week, I'm not aiming to get like a full contraction on this one. I don't really think it's even possible with this handle, this attachment. Like, you're not going to be able to get a full shortening or a contraction at the bottom. If you're doing like single arm, potentially, but with this parallel grip attachment, you're gonna fall a little bit short of a full contraction. So I'm just focusing more on getting a good stretch in the lats at the top and just keeping the lats as engaged as possible as I can while going through the actual movement itself. I'm not stressing too much about like how low I can pull it. Focusing more on the, as broy as it sounds, the mind to muscle connection in that top end of the range. And just getting a good loaded stretch kind of feeling through every rep. I'm gonna put this down 1 notch though, because it felt like it was just a little bit too much space and I was kind of lifting off the seat. But yeah, time to do set number 1. So we got one more set of these before it's on to the rowing movement. First 2 sets were pretty good. I got 16, so I think that's a rep PB from last week. But I can't really count it as a PB because, like I said, the attachment that I'm using is slightly different to the one that I normally use. So yeah, at least I know where I kind of stand now on both attachments though. So if I use this attachment again in the future, I know I need to get at least what I got tonight, if not a rep or more, to be progressing forward. But it's a pretty important thing to kind of like keep in mind if you really want to, I suppose, take your training to that next level. Keeping tabs on these minute details, like, oh, the attachment I used this time was a little bit different, therefore it's not going to feel the same, and therefore I need to kind of track my progression on 2 different attachments moving forward from this point on. Like doing that instead of just patting yourself on the back for getting more than you did last week if it's a different attachment, or beating yourself up for not getting the same. Like that's a bit of a I suppose like an immature mindset to have towards your training. Be a bit more mature and just recognise and acknowledge the differences and take it for what it is, rather than attaching your ego or your self-worth to it too much. Final set. All right, three sets of rows, and last week it was plate number 11 for what was it, 13, 12 and 12 reps. So if we can go 13, 13, 12, or 14, 12, 12, I'll be pretty happy. Worst case scenario, if I match what I did last week and go 13, 12, 12, I'll be happy too. But it'd be nice to hit a PB on this. And I've always been pretty back dominant, like pretty strong with it. Progressing on back movements hasn't always been an issue for me. So it should be relatively easy for me to hit a rep PB, I think. If it was a more stubborn muscle group of mine, probably not, but back is kind of like the hyper responsive body part of mine. I'll do like 4 or 5 working sets a week for it and it'll grow. If I tried doing that with some of my other body parts, they'd probably get smaller and atrophy. So yeah, I won't warm up. I'm already quite warm from the pull down, so I'll just jump straight to the working set. Plate number 11 for at least 13. Oh, God. Third and final set. Then onto the low rows. The low row. I actually really like this machine. The only critique I have of it is the handles sometimes hit your legs when you're using it. You need to make sure that you have the seat low enough so that when you row back, your hands aren't obstructed by where your legs are. And that'll happen if the seat's too high. But yeah, it does kind of limit how low you can make this row in terms of being a low row, but it's still a good movement, I find. I get a good stretch, a good squeeze, and the minor muscle connection is actually probably better than some of the plate loaded rows in the gym. So yeah, only 2 sets of this. Seat might be a touch too low, we'll see how it goes. Time for rear delts now. Last week for the upper back row, 120 pound for 13, 12, 12, 12. Wait, means we got 4 sets of this. Oh. Alright, well, I lied before, I don't have 3 of this, I have 4 sets. So, time to get into it. So with this, I do only have 3 sets, unlike the other exercise. There we go.